it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me for another Top Tip Tuesday. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK and working across the UK, France, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, Belgium and the Republic of Ireland. Phew! That's done. Okay, so it's Top Tip Tuesday today and I'm on a theme of embossing folders, and today is no exception to that. So let me flip the camera down and we will get started. So I am going to be using the Sweet Citrus bundle today. This comes with a hybrid embossing folder and I will explain what's different about that in a moment. But this is, as I say, Sweet Citrus. It's in the new January to April mini catalogue that will be going live on the 5th of January. I am sending out catalogues to my existing customers later this week, so hopefully they'll arrive between Christmas and New Year, but with the post as it is in the UK, who knows? But if you are in the UK and you would like a catalogue, once I have sent out my customer catalogues, any that are left will be up for grabs. So you can go over to my website. If you click on catalogues, you'll see there is a form there to order catalogues. I would ask that if you are already a demonstrator, you do not use that because, as you know, they cost money. And if you already work with someone, with a demonstrator who you are intending to continue working with, again, I would ask that you ask them for the catalogue. But if you want to try out my customer service, by all means, please ask me for a catalogue. So, Sweet Citrus, we have got enjoy the sweeter things in life, have a zesty birthday, sending you a big squeeze and thanks a bunch. It's a two-step stamping, so these three images fit into these three here. We've got flowers, we've got leaves, and we've got lots of dies. I've got the hybrid one out, so let me get that as well. So this is the hybrid die, which works with the embossing folder, and I will show you how that works shortly. But we've got, if I bring back in the images, we've got two dies that die cut these three. These the picture on the front is smaller than the actual stamps, so these two dies die cut these three images all in one go. And we've got two single flowers for this one, two sets of leaves for the leaves, and then we've got this which deals with the lemon, the slice, the half slice, the cut in half lemon, and the bits that go inside those. Right, okay, so we're really looking at embossing folders today. Now this is inky because that's what we're going to be doing. So I've got my embossing folder. It's a standard 3D embossing folder, so it gives lots of depth. But when you use it with the die, which just fits onto the embossing folder like that, and then it's kind of set there, then it die cuts and embosses all in one. Now I've cut a piece of So Saffron card. I'm going to be using Daffodil Delight as my ink. You can do this on ordinary embossing folders as well. Doesn't have to be hybrids, but I thought I would showcase this one as it's new. So I'm just going to ink up my embossing folder. I'm only worried about these images here, so I'm just going to ink up that area. And now not all of this ink will transfer to the die cut images, but some of it will. Because it's a 3D embossing folder, there are different layers. So yeah, we are only going to be dealing with some of those layers. So we lay the die on, we lay the card on, and then we get our cut and emboss. We will need the base platform and the grey plate to do a 3D embossing folder. We deal with this, even though it's a hybrid folder, we deal with it in exactly the same way as we would any other 3D folder. Let me just make sure that is flat, and it is. So plate, embossing folder, hinge towards the entrance to the die cut. My brain's just gone to the cut and emboss. Fold that down, pop your plate on, and roll it through. You may find some cracking. Doesn't always. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. No. Oh, little crack. Take this out. Fold up my cut and emboss. Pop that to one side. And let's see what we've got. So it's stuck to the ink. That's to be expected. We can take off the die because we don't need that. We can get rid of the base plate because we don't need that anymore. And then we can, if you just tap the back, some of the ink will still be left because I had a small piece of card, or smaller than the inked area. You can clean that. I tend to use a wet wipe or a wet cloth, and then I run it through with a piece of kitchen paper, which gets all the ink off. So I will do that after we've finished. Pop those bits to one side, and we've got our inked images. So we've got our full slice, we've got our cut piece, we've got our half slice, we've got our lemon. Now the other side is beautiful, let it be said. And if you use the stamps, you can get it to die cut and emboss with the stamped image as well, which is beautiful, particularly as the stamp is one piece, so it will line up properly. And by one piece I mean this piece, which has the three bits of the internal bit of the lemon. It's one piece, so when you put it through your cut and emboss, it will line up, which is fan-dabby-dozy. But I thought I would make a card to show you what you can do with your pieces. I have done a bit of prep, even to the extent that these are ones I made earlier, but they are exactly the same as the ones I've just done. So I have got from the Host set, no, from the Celebration paper set, this piece of Designer Series paper. I've just cut it at 5.5 by 3 3/4, which is my usual second layer, and then I've cut it so there's about 1/3 and 2/3. It's slightly bigger than the third, but then we can turn them over, and because you cut it in one piece, they're going to be the same size, which is always good. And then I'm going to put the heavier piece, I think of this as heavier, on the bottom. It'd be lovely if this would work. There we go. And I just want the smallest margin around the edge, like that. And then if I do the same for this piece, and using liquid glue means that you've got that lovely slippage. There we go. So now that I know that everything is going to line up beautifully, I can press everything down. I've got a piece of the new Grosgrain Ribber. This is in Pool Party. Again, this is from the new mini catalogue, and I'm going to use that to cover up that seam. Words are difficult. I'm just saying, words are difficult. Right, so the seam is there. So let's assume it's about there as well. And then I'm just going to line it up across the middle, tuck the end underneath. There we go, like that. And then I've got my 2 lemon pieces. So actually I think I'll go that. No, I think I'll go that way. I was going to go, actually I'll do that. That's what I'll do. I need some dimensionals, or some bits of dimensional. So I'm at the end of a sheet. I like to use all of the bits that are left over. There is one dimensional there, but let's cut everything into pieces. So I'm going to have this one just up at the cut edge and this flat. So let's pop this one down first. I'm being reasonably generous with the liquid adhesive because I want it to stick and it's embossed, so not all of the surface is going to touch the base. And then I want dimensional along this edge because I want that popped up, and then we'll add adhesive there. Wanted to make sure I knew where my adhesive was. There we go. So I'm going to hold that end in place for a little while, and then I'm going to bring in my leaves, which are just going to tuck in underneath. So we're going to have one kind of there, one in under here. Have our, oh come along, I cut my fingernails this morning and I can't pick anything up. I have this tucked in at the top there. Now this is stamped in Daffodil Delight, and I've used a little bit of Wink of Stella just to give it a bit of bling. Again, can't pick this up because I cut my fingernails. They needed cutting, but it seems to be I'm useless picking anything up for a couple of days after I cut my fingernails. Probably means I should do it at the weekend rather than during the week. Now I want mini dimensional on the back of my flower, and then I'm going to add my sentiment, then add everything to the card base. So I've got enjoy the sweeter things in life, and I'm going to have it sort of coming across so that it's, this I stamped in Coastal Cabana and then just fussy cut around it, so it's going to be going like that. So I need dimensional under this because I want that up, and I have a strip of edge piece, which is always useful for this sort of thing. So let's cut a piece that hopefully, actually if I go that way around it should be better. That should go there. That goes there. How much more am I going to need? No, I think that'll do. So, whoops, I am all fingers and thumbs. I was convinced I was coming down with something over the weekend. Happily, I woke up this morning feeling fine. I was expecting to be waking up with a really sore throat. Nah, nothing. All good. So enjoy the sweeter things in life. Let's pop that onto a granny apple green base. Just going to add some adhesive to that ribbon as well. Normally I would put some more Seal Plus there, but for speed I won't. And then we've got these, now what do we call these? They're from the annual catalogue. Let's have a look. Let's find our embellishments. I haven't used many of them and they're gorgeous. They are Glossy Dots assortment, and they're in Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight and Pool Party. So perfect colours. Melon Mambo, I think I meant, not Mango Melody. That is never Mango Melody. Melon Mambo, it might well be. Anywho, I'm going to use some of each, and so I'm going to have a little cluster sort of here. Actually, might go. Let's go kind of around this last piece, under there, and there, and I'm going to have something up here as well in the Daffodil Delight. Let's go large first. They are lovely, sort of, they're like holographic. So 2 little areas of embellishment, and then obviously we would need to put something on the inside, as Granny Apple Green's not the easiest colour to write on, but there you go. So as I say, inking up your 3D embossing folder, this being a hybrid embossing folder, really nice way to make the most of your embossing folders. Let me just flip the camera back up. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up's always appreciated. If you've got any questions or comments, you can leave those below the description bar. Remember that if you don't already subscribe, you can do that by clicking the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Hit subscribe, and if you hit the alert bell, you'll know when I'm going live, and also when I post a new video. You'll get an email into your inbox, just letting you know that I'm up to something on YouTube. I will be back later today, 11 o'clock UK time. So assuming you're watching this when it goes live, I will be back in about 3 hours. Otherwise, I'll be back, as I say, 11 o'clock UK time, and then 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Do remember that if you need any Stampin' Up products and you are in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, Belgium or the Republic of Ireland, I would be thrilled if you would choose me as your demonstrator and let me show you how my customer service works. And yeah, don't forget, if you need a catalogue and you don't already work with a demonstrator, hop over to my website, link in the description bar, and then hit the catalogue page and you can order catalogues. Thank you very much indeed. Have a good rest of your day. Bye for now.